Hi students, welcome to Karthik Chemistry channel. Today I want to teach you about biodegradable polymers. What are biodegradable polymers? What is the definition of biodegradable polymer? So, biodegradability is defined as the ability of being chemical transformation by enzymatic action of bacteria which is capable for further degradation. Okay, simply biodegradation is defined as the chemical breakdown of a material due to physiological environment. Okay, the chemical breakdown of a material, the degradation of a material by physiological environment is called biodegradation. So the polymers undergo degradation when exposed to moisture, heat, oxygen, ozone and microorganisms. So in general, polymers undergo degradation when exposed to moisture, heat, oxygen, ozone and microorganisms. Right? So biodegradation can be simply measured in two ways. The activity of by the activity of aerobic microbes and by the activity of anaerobic microbes. The biodegradation can be measured in two ways, by the activity of aerobic microbes and by the activity of anaerobic microbes. So the activity of aerobic microbes can be measured by the amount of oxygen they consume or the amount of carbon dioxide they produce. Aerobic microbes means living organisms, so they consume oxygen and they evolve carbon dioxide. So by considering the amount of oxygen they consume or the amount of carbon dioxide they evolve, we can find out the activity of aerobic microbes. Okay, so similarly the activity of anaerobic microbes can be measured by the amount of methane or alloy that may be able to produce. Okay, that means aerobic microbes can be the activity of aerobic microbes can be measured in the presence of oxygen, and the activity of anaerobic microbes can be measured in the absence of oxygen, because in the presence of oxygen they evolve carbon dioxide and in the absence of oxygen these evolve methane gas. Okay, so the activity of aerobic microbes can be measured by the amount of oxygen they consume or the amount of carbon dioxide they produce, and the activity of anaerobic microbes can be measured by the amount of methane or alloy that may be able to produce. Then biodegradable plastics are mainly two types. Biodegradable plastics are of two types: hydrobiodegradable plastics and oxo-biodegradable plastics. HBP, HBP, OBP, hydrobiodegradable plastics and oxo-biodegradable plastics. Hydrobiodegradable plastics means these undergo chemical degradation by hydrolysis. So if the plastic undergo degradation by hydrolysis in the presence of water, so then such type of plastics are called hydrobiodegradable plastics. Similarly, if the plastic undergo degradation by light, in the presence of light the plastic undergoes degradation, then such type of plastics are called oxo-biodegradable plastics. Okay, hydrobiodegradable plastics undergo chemical degradation by hydrolysis, and oxo-biodegradable plastics undergo chemical degradation by oxidation. For example, polyester plays a predominant role in HBP, hydrobiodegradable. That means the polyester plays predominant role in hydrolysis, right? So some examples of biodegradable polymers are examples. One, naturally occurring biodegradable polymer. Naturally occurring biodegradable polymers. So there is a belief that anything that comes from nature goes back to nature. Hence it is assumed that These natural polymers are beautiful for environmental degradation. So what are the natural biodegradable polymers? Polysaccharides, proteins, polyesters, lignin, shellac, natural rubber. These all are natural biodegradable polymers. Okay, these all are naturally biodegradable polymers. What are they? Starch, cellulose, silk, wool, polyhydroxyalkanoates, lignin, shellac, natural rubber. These all are natural biodegradable polymers. Okay, these can be very easily degraded in nature. Next, synthetic biodegradable polymers. Synthetic biodegradable polymers means these polymers are produced from chemicals or biological sources that are biodegradable. Okay, these are also biodegradable, but these can be produced from chemicals. These can be obtained from nature. Okay, so if the materials obtained from nature, that means the source of these materials is nature. So the synthetic biodegradable polymers means these are produced from some chemicals which are biodegradable. Examples: polyhydroxyalkanoates, PHA, polylactic acid, polyvinyl acetate. Okay, so what are the properties, what are the benefits for biodegradable polymers? Biodegradable polymers should be non-toxic. They are non-toxic. They can be able to maintain good mechanical stability until degraded. Okay, so where we find applications of biodegradable polymers? In drug delivery systems, in dental devices, and in orthopedic fixation devices, in tissue engineering. So these all are the applications of biodegradable polymers. So write down the notes, students. What are biodegradable polymers? Simply the definition is the chemical breakdown of a material due to physiological environment, that is moisture, heat, oxygen, ozone, and microorganisms. Biodegradation can be measured in two ways: the activity of aerobic microbes and the activity of anaerobic microbes. Okay, by considering the activity of aerobic microbes, they consume oxygen and they evolve carbon dioxide. If we consider the activity of anaerobic microbes, they evolve methane gas. Biodegradable plastics are of mainly two types. One is hydrobiodegradable plastic, that means they undergo degradation by hydrolysis, and another one is oxobiodegradable plastics. They undergo degradation by oxidation, that means in the presence of light. So examples of biodegradable polymers are naturally biodegradable polymers and synthetic biodegradable polymers. Okay, these are the properties. Biodegradable polymers are mainly non-toxic, and these are applications. Okay, students. Then biopolymers. What are biopolymers? Biopolymers, the polymers which are obtained from living organisms. The polymers which are obtained from living organisms are called biopolymers. So these are derived from biological sources such as plants, microbes, animals, agricultural wastes, fossils. Okay, are synthesized chemically from biological monomer units such as sugars, amino acids, natural fats, oils, and nucleotides. So these all are naturally occurring long chain molecules involved in biological changes. So what are they? Mainly carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, nucleic acids. Okay, so biopolymers means which are obtained from living organisms. Okay, so The first one is carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are biopolymers. So these are the most abundant organic molecules in nature, contain mainly hydrogen and oxygen. So carbohydrate contains mainly chief elements of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. So here again carbohydrates are classified as monosaccharides, oligosaccharides, polysaccharides. Okay. So carbohydrates are mainly classified as two types, monosaccharides and oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides are again classified as disaccharides, trisaccharides, tetrasaccharides and oligosaccharides. So see here. So monosaccharides means they are simple sugars. So monosaccharide means which cannot further undergo hydrolysis. For example, it is a simpler molecule. See here, glucose. Glucose and fructose are carbohydrates. So these are simpler molecules which cannot be further undergo hydrolysis. So on hydrolysis there is no reaction. So by considering glucose and fructose on hydrolysis there is no reaction. So these are the simple sugars which cannot undergo further hydrolysis. These are crystalline solids which are water soluble with sweet taste. So and then oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides means these are the carbohydrates which upon hydrolysis produce 2 to 10 monosaccharide units, simpler carbohydrate units. So these are also crystalline solids which are water soluble with sweet taste. Okay. So again oligosaccharides are mainly classified as four types. So the first one is disaccharides. Disaccharides means they produce two monosaccharide units. For example, if you take sucrose or maltose, sucrose on hydrolysis produces glucose and fructose. Okay. Sucrose C12H22O11, it is the molecular formula of sucrose. So on hydrolysis it produces glucose and fructose. And then trisaccharides. So these produce three monosaccharides. Tri means three. So it produces three monosaccharides on hydrolysis. Example, raffinose. What is the formula? C18H32O16. On hydrolysis it produces glucose, fructose and galactose. Okay. And then tetrasaccharides. Tetrasaccharide means they produce four monosaccharides on hydrolysis. So example is stachyose. So C24H42O21 on hydrolysis produces galactose. So two molecules of galactose and then glucose, fructose. Okay. Then polysaccharides. So they undergo hydrolysis and produce more than 10 units of monosaccharides. Okay. If they undergo hydrolysis and they produce more than 10 units of monosaccharides. So what are the examples? Starch, cellulose, glycogen. These are the examples of polysaccharides. Carbohydrates are biopolymers. Mainly these are classified as two types, monosaccharides and oligosaccharides. Monosaccharides means these are the simplest molecules which cannot be further undergo hydrolysis. And oligosaccharides produces 2 to 10 monosaccharide units. So these are first one disaccharides, they produce 2 units. Okay, 2 monosaccharide units. Then trisaccharides produces 3 monosaccharide units on hydrolysis. Then tetrasaccharide produces 4 monosaccharide units. Okay. And then polysaccharides, they produce more than 10 units of monosaccharides. Okay. Then Proteins. Proteins are also biopolymers. Proteins, lipids, nucleic acids. Proteins are building blocks of amino acids. Okay. So proteins are complex organic nitrogenous substances found in all living cells. They are formed by condensation polymerization of amino acids through the formation of peptide bonds. So by the formation of peptide bonds, proteins are formed by condensation polymerization of amino acids. Proteins function as enzymes, hormones, antibodies, etc., and regulate transport of substances. Okay, so these are some examples for amino acids: histidine, valine, leucine, proline, alanine, glutamine. Okay, and then lipids. Lipids are also biopolymers. These are naturally occurring compounds of higher fatty acids and also known as fats. They play a vital role in living organisms and serve as source of energy, essential nutrients, protective coatings, carrier of vitamins. Okay, so they are made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen atoms similar to that of carbohydrates. See here, lipids are made up of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen atoms similar to that of carbohydrates, but they contain higher percentage of carbon and hydrogen and lower percentage of oxygen when compared to carbohydrates. Okay, so lipids are naturally occurring compounds of higher fatty acids. Okay, so simply these are also known as fats. Lipids are also known as fats. Then nucleic acids. So nucleic acid means these are the polymers of nucleotides. That means in nucleic acids the monomer is nucleotide. So they are termed as polynucleotides. So these are mainly composed of 3 units: sugars, phosphates and heterocyclic bases or nitrogenous bases. Nucleic acids are storage sites for genetic information. Okay, so remember, nucleic acids are the storage sites for genetic information and also help in its transmission. Okay, DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, and RNA, ribonucleic acid, are the types of nucleic acids. Okay, so what are biopolymers? Biopolymers are obtained from living organisms. Mainly biopolymers are carbohydrates, proteins, lipids and nucleic acids. Okay, so then biomedical polymers. What are biomedical polymers? These are also biomaterials which are adapted for medical applications. Okay, those materials, those biomaterials which are used and adapted for medical applications are called biomedical polymers. Okay, many prostheses and implants made from polymers are biocompatible. So what are the characteristics? They must be available in reproducible form, pure form, and have optimum physical and chemical properties necessary to perform their function. They can be easily sterilized without any change in their properties. They should not damage cellular elements of blood, enzymes and proteins. They must not toxic or allergic to the body and do not cause depletion of body electrolytes. Okay, so these are the characteristics of biomedical polymers. These are used in blood filters, artificial heart valves, drain tubing, vascular tubing, contact lenses, dental devices, disposable syringes, grafting and membrane oxygenators. Okay, students, write down the notes. Biomedical polymers. Okay, biomedical polymers and biopolymers. Biopolymers. Thank you.